Because in the end, you're gonna feel like shit and look at this person and be like, damn, I was investing all this time into you and we don't even resonate with each other. Like, we're not even aligned. So if you're not treating yourself like a queen, if you're not respecting and loving yourself, you're gonna feel like shit pretty much all the time. You are letting other people define you and define your life. But now that I started being happy with myself, I feel beautiful as ever. And I'm happy with it. And that's for free. Like, you don't even need a therapist. Like, in this video, I really want to talk about solitude. In my last video, I talked about people pleasing, and it's really important and goes along with learning to live in solitude. Really, if you knew me 2 years ago, my self-esteem was so low that you can insult me and I really would like internalize it for like a whole week. But now, I'm happy and I do not give a fuck what anyone else thinks about me. So before I started living in solitude, I didn't really know myself. I was just trying to fill the void with things that was outside of me, as in toxic people, trying to fit in with society, and basically just being a cornball. Everything that I was surrounded by was toxic, and I view life in a toxic way. So I thought this video would be perfect if I talked about the lessons that I learned living in solitude for 1.5 years now. Before I started living in solitude, I didn't really know myself. Everything surrounded in my life was so toxic that eventually the fake identity that I created fell apart and I lost everything. And I had the biggest reality check of my life. So after I had this huge reality check, I had to rebrand myself. I had to figure out who I was. And I had to detach myself from everything that I thought I was. And this was not easy, y'all. Like, it's not that simple. I was really sad and depressed during that time. But looking back, I'm very grateful that I went through that. All I had was myself, and the relationships that I was creating with other people, I had to create with myself. You need to commit to yourself just like how you commit to other people. You need to learn yourself. And taking 1 year to myself to just invest and learn myself has really helped me. And I'm a completely different person than 2 years ago. Like, if you know me, you don't really know me. Like, let's be for real now. Like, I'm completely different. My mindset is different, and I'm different. I'm more authentic, I'm more myself, and I'm more honest with myself, and I don't hold a mask for nobody anymore. So the first thing that I learned being in solitude is the underlying fears that I had about myself. Taking the time to self-reflect and figuring out why you are the way you are and why you respond to certain situations is really important, and it gives you a big reality check. Like I really was stunned at all the underlying fears that I had that I was not aware of. And it's like that for all of us. Like, we all carry some type of fear in our subconscious that controls our life in some way, and it's so natural that we don't even notice it. So if you are planning to go into solitude, be ready for the reality check that you are going to have, because you are going to have many moments where you realize that you react from the fears that you have in your subconscious. And that is something that a few people can handle. Not everyone can face their dark side, their shadow side. They are not ready to accept that sometimes they move from fear, because there has been many times where I've just been chilling and I just had a realization that I've been moving from fear. I have not been living my authentic self, and I constantly had to unmask and sit with that feeling. The second thing that I learned is letting go from the urge to blend in with the world. Society's standards is not for everyone. Sometimes you just build different than society. Like, you think different and you're just more original and authentic. And the people who are like this usually put on a mask for other people because they either been bullied or their ideas and thoughts has been turned down, so they put on a mask to fit in and blend in with everyone else. Don't do that. Be who you are and stand in your truth. It may not be for everyone, but that just shows that you're not aligned with these people. And I really realized that I wasted my time putting on a mask and acting like what's important to everyone else was important to me. I had different priorities. Like, eventually I got drained and just tired of being around these people, and I had to stop forcing myself to keep up with relationships that no longer served me. Like I said in my last video, stop carrying the garbage. Like, you're literally bringing the trash everywhere you go. Like, that just makes no sense to me. And no offense to past Tiana and her past actions, but it's just not giving. Sometimes you gotta be the black sheep, and it is a lonely journey, but it's better being alone than around people who you don't resonate with. Because in the end, you're gonna feel like shit and look at this person and be like, damn, I was investing all this time into you and we don't even resonate with each other. Like, we're not even aligned. Like, this relationship is not even genuine and real. We're just here to fill the void. Like, do better. With all due respect, you need to get your priorities straight. The third thing that I learned being in solitude was to stop viewing myself as a victim. I carried a lot of pain throughout my life through the actions of others, from my bullies to the little things people would say to when people would criticize me. Like, I carried all that pain in my heart and in my body, and it brought me down so low to the point where I was victimizing myself for every little thing people would do to me. You can't control outcomes or actions outside of you. You can only control your response. Life is what you make it. So if you go around blaming others for how your life is and for why you're the way you are setting yourself back, because you are trying to defend a belief that life is against you. And it is easy to get into this victim mentality because you don't speak up for yourself, you don't defend yourself, you don't try to make a change. So you let life happen for you. That's why you victimize your life. You are letting other people define you and define your life. So in the end, it is your fault. There is no reason why you should be blaming other people. You need to go into yourself and reflect. It is no one else's fault but yours if you internalize what other people say. Anything that someone says to you is a projection, or it manifested into your reality because that's how you think about yourself. You need to go within yourself and reflect on why is this triggering to you? Why are you getting so fed up and angry about this? Stop taking life and what other people say so seriously, because that's how you ruin life for yourself. Because you are constantly letting other people mess with your energy. So take your power back. You don't need to respond to everything, okay? Sometimes quiet is the best answer. Everything is energy, and the universe reflects what you think about yourself. So if you constantly think these negative things about yourself, it goes into your subconscious and it manifests in your reality. So watch the energy that you throw around and the things that you say about yourself, because it will come back in a full circle. I promise you that, guys. Be your own peace. Don't be your biggest enemy. Some people are scared to self-reflect because they don't want to face the truth. They want to live in their lies. So it is your choice. Do you want to live a lie, or do you want to live in your authentic self and stand in your truth? The choice is yours. The fourth thing that I learned living in solitude is that I connected with my inner child more. I became more creative and more like my childlike self when I started living in solitude. Literally, y'all, I started reading, writing, going to the park, sitting with nature, being creative. For example, I started this YouTube channel, which I always wanted to do when I was younger. I was literally teaching my stuffed animals and pretending to be a teacher, and now I'm teaching on YouTube. And I think that's such a beautiful thing because I feel so much more connected to myself than I was 2 years ago. I'm fulfilling my needs, I'm manifesting more, I'm expressing myself, and I don't feel guilty about it. And when you start doing things that you used to do when you was a child and start nurturing yourself and having fun, you are connecting with your inner child. And that's how you are healing yourself at the same time, because you are stepping into your soul's purpose. When you was a child, you was more connected to your soul's purpose. You didn't have these limiting beliefs. Like as a child, we never felt insecure about something until someone pointed it out or someone insulted our character or looks. And that's how you lose yourself and get farther away from your inner child, because you are listening to these limiting beliefs and believing them. And it builds up throughout our lives, and we get more and more distant from our inner child. So when you detach and heal the limiting beliefs that you have, you get more connected with your inner child. And that's what living in solitude really helped me. I wasn't really around people. I wasn't really consuming other people's opinions about me. And I really focused on loving and nurturing myself. I changed the way I talked to myself, and it really transformed me into knowing who I am and standing in who I am, and not letting other people's opinions about me get to me. At that point, I defined it myself, so nothing affected me, period. And once I started loving myself and treating myself as the queen that I am, everyone started treating me like one as well. The way people started treating me was completely different. People actually started respecting me because I already respected myself. And it really just shows that your thoughts create your reality and how people act towards you. Every person in your life is a reflection of you, whether you know it or not. So if you constantly think negative of yourself and believe the negative beliefs in your mind, people are going to remind you. People are going to remind you how unworthy you feel deep inside, and you're constantly going to see yourself in situations where you feel unworthy. You're going to constantly feel like life is a test because you make it so hard for yourself. It's so hard for you to love yourself and treat yourself like the queen or king that you are, that your life is going to be 10 times harder than someone else's. And like I said earlier, this is where the victim mentality comes from. This is where you compare yourself to other people. This is where you constantly feel lack, because you are in the constant state of lack. You feel like you deserve less than what you deserve. So life is going to give you that. Whether you know it or not, you're constantly talking and communicating with the universe with the frequency and energy that you are on. So if you're not treating yourself like a queen, if you're not respecting and loving yourself, you're going to feel like shit pretty much all the time. So you might as well start saying positive affirmations and be happy with the person that you look at in the mirror, because self-love will change your life and it will show. Just stop being your biggest enemy. What do you gain from that, for real? I really want to know. Give me a whole list of everything that you gain from talking bad to yourself. I'm waiting. Exactly. So if you don't take any advice from this video, you better take that one. You see the beauty and the glow in my face? This is coming from the self-love that I have for myself. I didn't look like this 2 years ago, okay? I wasn't really happy with how I looked because I wasn't happy with myself. But now that I started being happy with myself, I feel beautiful as ever. And I'm happy with it. Another thing that I experienced being in solitude is realizing that society norms are rigged as fuck. I've been hanging out with nature pretty much this whole year because I don't have no friends, and I'm okay with that. Being in nature actually healed me in so many ways, and it's so bizarre that if you hug a tree or if you walk barefoot in nature, you're considered weird. What has this generation become? This generation is not going to survive, and I'm really concerned. Nature has given us all the resources that we need. Trees are alive. You can talk to a tree and it will respond to you. There are so many videos online that if a person goes up to a tree and talks to it, the tree will eventually move towards the person because the tree is alive. Trees are great outlets to release negative energy. Trees love to take that negative energy and fill you up with positive energy. So why not use nature's resources? You can literally go outside, cry out your feelings to a tree, and you feel so much better. And that's for free. You don't even need a therapist. And walking or sitting barefoot at the park is actually really healthy because you ground yourself. Feel the grass on your feet. It's not that bad once you try it. Y'all really just be exaggerating things, for real. And I do not stand for it. I'm sorry. I guess I'll be the weird girl if I go hug a tree or if I like to ground myself. You guys can agree to disagree on my opinion, but I do not care. Mother Nature has all the resources for us, and we need to start using it. That is pretty much the end of this video, guys. I don't really have much to say anymore. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, and comment down your thoughts or any questions that you have for me. But yeah, my work here is done. Thank you guys for making it to the end of this video, and I'll see you guys next time.